I would like to pay a special tribute to his courage and to his leadership over these past few months, which has been of enormous benefit, not just to the coalition, but I believe also to the security and stability of the wider world. He and I have just finished a short time ago a conversation with President Bush, where we discussed the present situation, the outcome of the coalition action, the future of Iraq, and also the Middle East peace process. And perhaps I can just say a word about those issues. Iraq continues to stabilize. It is very clear, as we saw from the Shia pilgrimage to Kaaba, that there are freedoms that people are enjoying in Iraq today. Freedoms to agree, freedoms to disagree, that they have been denied for many long years under the brutal regime of Saddam Hussein. It is also very clear from the discoveries that have been made just in the past few days just how fundamentally brutal this regime was. The prisons where thousands of people were tortured and died, the mass graves of those who dared to disagree with the regime, the environmental degradation committed by Saddam's forces, the sheer terror that that population lived under for many, many long years. And for all the difficulties, I have no doubt at all that it is both our opportunity and our responsibility to make sure that for the future, people in Iraq can live free from fear, free from tyranny, and to usher in an era in Iraq where not merely do we achieve the same levels of facilities that they had before the conflict, but that also we enhance those facilities so that people have better access to the fundamental needs and services that they require. And again, what is very clear just in these past few weeks is that the Iraqi people, given the chance, given their character as a people, given the potential wealth of the country, could have a future of prosperity, justice, and freedom for all. In addition, obviously, we discussed the Middle East peace process. And again, I would like to thank President Aznar for his interventions that have, I think, had a significant and positive outcome on the discussions of recent days. We're delighted that the Palestinian cabinet has been agreed under the Prime Minister Abu Mazen. There is now every chance that we can make progress in the Middle East. The appointment of the cabinet allows the roadmap to be published, which is a set of proposals for peace in the Middle East drawn up by the United States, Russia, the European Union, and the UN. And I have no doubt at all, and this was again something we discussed with President Bush just a short time ago, that there is a genuine commitment the world over to make sure that we can make a reality of the two-state solution. Israel, confident of its security, recognized by the Arab world, and a viable Palestinian state. Finally, we also agreed on the essential importance of continuing the fight against terrorism in all its forms. This is an evil that both our countries know and have experienced over many years. And we are committed to redoubling our efforts, both in our own countries and abroad, to dealing with it. So, what he had to say during the war, but on the allegations in the newspapers, I don't think it would be right for me to comment on that. In respect of public opinion, well, this was a tough battle. It was always going to be. And let me say once again, but what I always had in my mind was the nature of this regime. And when you read the details of the torture chambers, the prisons, the thousands upon thousands of people that Saddam killed, far more, then I think even if people have disagreed with us going to war, they can at least see that the Iraqi people have greater freedom and greater hope today than they had in the years under Saddam. And we haven't left. We are going to help Iraq get on its feet, make use of the prodigious talent of the Iraqi people, and let the Iraqi people create in Iraq a country of greater democracy, freedom and prosperity. And they can do that, and we will help them do that. And so for people who are still criticizing us today, I just ask them, just wait until you make your final judgment. Wait and see whether we carry out the commitment we've given to the Iraqi people, not to desert them, but to help them. And if we do, and if Iraq then becomes the country I believe that it can, then I hope even those that have opposed us will at least recognize that our motives were sincere and our actions after the conflict have borne some testimony to that.
La ventaja que tienen las democracias es...
First of all, in relation to sanctions, of course, we want to see them lifted as soon as possible. We are beginning the whole process of trying to identify the possible sites where there are weapons of mass destruction. I've no doubt at all that we need some independent verification of that process at a particular time. Exactly how that is done, as I've said before, should be discussed with the United Nations and with other key allies. And in relation to the political future of Iraq, I think the basic principle has got to be this, that it has to be, first of all, an interim authority that is genuinely representative of the Iraqi people. And then there will be, I've no doubt out of that, a new Iraqi constitution that, again, the Iraqi people should draw together. And I think there will be many questions and many debates that they have. But it is surely better that they have the chance to decide their own future today than the situation has been for the past 25, 30 or more years, where they've had no opportunity to decide their future at all.
Yo estoy de acuerdo.
Microphone, please. I substantially agree on the first and second part. It's a matter of building a political community that isn't...
But on the individual relations between countries, if you'll forgive me, that's a matter for them.
Yeah. Yo también lo creo y tengo que decir.
I agree, and
live coverage of this news conference from 10 Downing Street in London here